How we doing? How we doing?
Because I literally turned off the preamplifier. Do we have audio now? I think we should.
Probably. Yo, what's up? Hey, guys. Wait, no. Don't leave. It's coming back, I promise.
Hey, there's the sound. Lovely.
Dope. Welcome back to the completely unplanned Sierra Nevada post-game show. Wait, no. Don't leave. So, Sean says, "What did I just watch?" The truth, Sean. The truth.
Yeah, it can take a while to adjust to. You know, it's a little bit of a red pill in a visual form there.
There's a lot you don't know about the world that they're not telling you.
So I just have to brag on Carson for a little bit for all those of you who just watched that stream. The monologue that closes that closes that thing. We've always joked that like Carson would be a great improv actor.
Really, that both of us are kind of like frustrated wannabe actors in a sense.
But mostly Carson. And that thing at the end, you know, we had basically created like sort of a rough storyboard for the episode, and Carson's like, yeah, but I think there's like one more character that needs to be in this. Like I'm envisioning like this cowboy character who's like interacting with the subway. Like I can feel it. Like it's like just let me just see how it works out. It was like welling up within him, and so we had the green screen set up, and we were sitting down to shoot interviews, and Carson in the outtakes he's just going, I could see it scan over and over again, and yeah, but then when we actually rolled the camera, that entire thing was done in one take. It was the first take, completely uninterrupted, and that was all that we ever needed to do of it, because it just we're not going to top that, basically.
I think it was honestly more impressive that people watching it didn't laugh, because there were multiple times when I, like, in the middle of it, where
I couldn't look at him.
Where I'm just going like, you ever seen them aliens? But I'm like laughing into my drink, but trying to make it sound like I'm like dramatically snorting or something.
Well, so Kelly and I were assisting with the audio and video filming the scene, and we literally couldn't look. We couldn't look even in his direction.
I didn't look at you.
Yeah.
My face is going.
Because we had no idea. We had no idea what was coming, but we certainly would not have expected that. So yeah, that was a real thing.
But it was really
that happened.
But I think the whole what I really like about this project is, I think for many of you it probably came out of left field, but it's like a perfect synthesis in a way of like your and I, like our interests and our sort of like our relationship working together too. Like, first of all, like all the characters created by both of us were like fucking hilarious. Like I like walk around my apartment some days and like Louis Sphincter quotes will like pop into my head. I'm like, oh, must be the aliens. It just like pops into my head. But Josh is really like the editing guru behind all of this. Like I would be, it'd be like some time would pass and then Josh would be like, hey, what do you think of like this transition? It would be like me talking, but with the hieroglyphs like scrolling over. And like I have no idea how to do that shit on Adobe Premiere. So yeah, that, I don't know. I feel like both of us deserve equal accolades for our roles, our delving into this project.
Well, thank you.
Like, holy shit.
I appreciate that. No one can beat the dumbness of the original show. Well, that's true.
That's true. You really can't. We tried, but
I should say, for anybody watching, if you haven't seen an episode of Ancient Aliens,
Please do.
At least just watch one. It really doesn't matter which one you pick, but it's gonna make all of this make a lot more sense.
I would say pick one kind of in the middle, like not one of the earlier seasons. Pick something in the middle once they've kind of figured out their rhythm, right?
Let's see here. And I guess we should say also that almost everything in that was actually we actually filmed ourselves. The opening shot that's a flyover of New York City was taken from Google Earth. Is where I got that. And then there was the pyramid that had the watermark in it, which was something that I took off of Google Images without asking for it.
That was probably the most like visual effects heavy moment. Of the whole thing.
That like 15-second shot of the spaceship with the pyramid took me about 45 minutes to edit. And the spaceship is actually a chandelier that hangs in the middle of the Brooklyn Museum that I sort of made up to look like a spaceship, and then we purchased a bunch of royalty-free sounds to use in the video.
Actually, somebody said, if Sierra Nevada comped the beer, I'm at a loss to know where the $95 went. So
Sierra Nevada did not comp the beer.
No, Sierra Nevada is actually in no way related to this project at all. I mean, it did fuel some of the evenings behind the planning and filming of it.
But in no official capacity was it related.
Now, it would be awesome if Sierra Nevada had done something in that regard.
So I can tell you where the $95 went.
Here's the budget. Here's the budget
So
breakdown.
it went to the mustache.
Okay.
The silver hair gel that I'm wearing is William Henry,
which might have like lead in it or something. It came from China. It came from China.
It's like the stuff that made the original Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz.
Would not. Yeah, this is like do not try this at home, kids.
Yeah. The blue screen, which I wound up using in my I Feel Love Donna Summer cover, which was filmed immediately after we filmed everything for Aliens. And I've never actually worked with a blue screen before in my own home recording, so that was a real adventure to figure that out. So those three items, those three Amazon purchases, and then the rest of the expense was the royalty-free music and sound effects. The music that's happening underneath Carson's monologue, I composed that on a lap steel guitar that was given to us by the YouTuber Chase Eagleson.
We just set up a session to kind of film, play it while Josh, play the video while Josh messed around on the lap steel.
Yeah, but the rest of and I was trying to go for like a opening scene of The Dark Knight, like Christopher Nolan-y type of thing there. The rest of it was royalty-free music that we purchased off a website called Audio Jungle. And so that was where the rest of the $95 went, was to the sound effects.
Yeah, and somebody asked like, how'd you get in the museum? It's free on when it's not a global pandemic. It's actually free to go to the Brooklyn Museum on Thursday nights. So you can just like show up.
We were actually expecting to pay. We were expecting for that to be part of the budget.
Yeah, but we just kind of like waltzed in. And now that we're officially an LLC, we have like a band debit card, which we kept joking about. There you go. We would like whip out the band card. I don't think we've actually used the band card for anything other than sound effects on Ancient Aliens yet.
Yeah, that's the only thing it's been used for.
But we were expecting to have to like pay to get into the museum, but no, it's Thursday night. You can just go. So we maybe got one or two weird looks, but that was the only thing we had to endure to get into the museum.
Can you tell us more about its green skin?
We can't. It's green skin. No, I can't.
The necklaces.
The eyes were a color I'd never seen.
The
before,
necklaces didn't buy themselves.
They didn't, but
One's from green.
says somebody. But so the necklaces were actually
Amelia.
Kelly's grandma. On her father's side was a famous like radio actor. Well, she wasn't famous, but she made a full career out of it. So that's famous enough, especially in the 50s,
One of them was hers, the other one was Breeze's.
Oh, right. Okay. So one of the necklaces was from Kelly's grandmother, who was an actor. It was a piece of costume jewelry. And then one of them was from just a very, very dear friend of ours in Indianapolis, whose sister gave it to her, who gave it to us.
Gave it to us.
Yeah. Probably
John wears it too.
not the intended use case, but let's see here. All right, so we're getting a question from off screen. Have people actually asked this, or are you asking it?
Yeah, somebody.
Is this from the Peanut Gallery?
I mean, someone asked it in there. You can scroll through.
Yeah.
What did they
I
ask?
saw it.
What kind of alien would you be and why? And what kind of environment would you be?
What kind of alien would you be
And
and
what
why,
kind of
Carson?
environment would you thrive in? And why?
This is really tough.
It's actually a really deep philosophical question if you think about
it-
it.
Well, it is. Okay, so let's just talk about this for a sec. So,
If you could be we should probably wrap this up because we're getting into the
Who cares?
cups. We're getting into the cups enough here at this point that we could go on indefinitely.
I don't care. Yeah, people will just leave if they want to leave.
There's 97 people watching.
That's right.
They can hang out.
How long you want to hear us talk?
99.
Let's find out. So what?
What are you looking up? Different kinds of alien?
No, I'm not Googling different kinds of aliens.
What aliens?
I'm just trying to make sure.
What aliens are there?
What
I'm
is
just
an alien?
texting. I'm just making. My family wants to watch this, and I'm texting them the link. I'm just making sure they're watching the show. Okay, so what kind of alien would I be? So
And why? And
what's
what kind of environment?
to me what's fascinating about aliens? You could talk about this for a long time.
What is fascinating about aliens, Carson?
I'll tell you what's fascinating about aliens, Josh.
regale me.
It says let's pull an all-nighter, so.
So here's what's fascinating about aliens. There's obviously a lot of debate on this subject. To me, what makes the most sense is there probably is intelligent life elsewhere in the universe, but the universe is so vast that the odds of encountering it are probably pretty small. And beyond that, we as humans, we're limited by our own perception, right? Like we construct time in a certain way. Like we see and hear, feel, taste, whatever. These are all like, there are certain wavelengths that we can see. Like these are just the limitations of our own brains trying to compute the raw fabric of reality. So what's to say, and this is what I like about Interstellar, the movie, for example. Like, what's to say that there are aliens, but they exist in wavelengths, or they exist in sort of computations of time that are beyond what we ourselves can perceive. To me, that's pretty fascinating. And so, if I were an alien, I would want to be an alien that exists on some plane that humans can't comprehend, that we don't have the like physical facilities to see. You know, you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, yeah, I see what you're saying, and also, like, I mean, a prevailing theory in theoretical physics right now is the idea of a multiverse, you know, and that really dovetails with the type of alien that you are interested in being, because I mean, like, so in this case, right, like, it's potentially like a non-carbon based life form or whatever, but it's also happening in a universe which is just just a knife slit through time away from where we're sitting right now.
Hair's breadth away.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe there's alien Carson and Josh making an ancient human show.
Right.
You know.
Right. Right. You know. I mean, it's like fuck, don't let me leave, Murph. Like where he's in the 4-dimensional hypercube.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is like to me, the beauty of humanity is how much we don't understand. And there's so much out there, not just in terms of like, like we can't, even simply like we can't see like UV light, like we can't see it, but it's out there. It's contributing to the visual spectrum. We just can't see it.
Well, we can photograph it. So, I mean...
Right. But there's stuff beyond that. Like, our conception of time, I think, limits us in a particular way.
Yeah.
It's getting real.
Fucking yeah, well, right. I mean, like, they're like
this is what we actually do when we hang out. This is not like an act.
No.
This is not like Josh and I literally just get together and drink beer and like talk about weird shit and then like listen to records for a long time.
Which we probably can't do in a stream because then it would get taken down for a copyright claim.
Yeah.
Although it's tempting. The record player is sitting right behind the camera, but we can't do that. Let's see here.
What do we? This is pretty good.
Sorry, we're just getting caught up here a little bit on the on what's going on with all of you guys. I've been rewatching the original Cosmos series recently, the 1980 Carl Sagan Cosmos, and if you haven't watched it, man, I really just can't recommend it highly enough. If this type of thing is something that you find enjoyable to ponder. I think that in 1980, there, among the space-oriented community, there was a lot more of a preoccupation with the search for life than we have now. There are still people who are working towards that, and not just SETI, but also like people who are finding like planets that could host life in other solar systems, which is a very recent field of study. Planets that are in the Goldilocks zone of habitability for carbon-based life forms. But the 1980 version of Cosmos featuring Carl Sagan it's just a really superb little piece of the middle of a Venn diagram between philosophy and science. And some of the science has become dated. Some of the things that they talk about are no longer accurate. But a lot of it just gets you thinking, and it's beautifully filmed. And I love the new one. I love the new one with Neil deGrasse Tyson. But the original has just a grace and elegance and a slowness of pacing about it that feels appropriate for the subject. So, highly recommend it if you ever get a chance. It's all on YouTube for free.
Josh.
Your dad says to wrap it up. You want to say anything to your dad?
What if Marie is an alien?
My dad has advised me to wrap it up with the stream here.
What I like about this is that you're really getting a view into the Carson and Josh experience. Social media involves like curating your life in a specific way, and even YouTube to an extent. But this is literally a lens on like what we do. We hang out, we chat about weird stuff. There's not always beer involved, but we just like, it's very casual. I appreciate you all being here for that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know.
For anybody who's looked for a bit more of an honest window that isn't just us assessing takes, at the end of a video or something like that.
That's pretty good.
It looks, our actual life looks a lot like us conceiving of and executing elaborate parodies of network TV shows and then drinking beers and talking about it. So, I don't know. What do you want to take? One more question and then sign off, maybe, or?
Stay all night.
Yeah, people say you aren't allowed to leave.
We're not allowed to leave. Okay.
All right. If anybody's got any more questions, we'll take one more here. Eyes on the chat.
Amelia, right here.
Please start a podcast. Man, the number of times we've been like in the middle of like a 6-hour drive on tour and said like, man, we could totally do a podcast.
I think that would be a lot of fun, actually.
Never gotten around to
it. It would
it.
be way more focused than this, and would rotate a little bit less around Sierra Nevada. Josh and Carson.
Oh, Discord, man. That's a
What's
realm.
that?
That's a realm that I'm not familiar to. It's like a chat server type thing that is used in like for like video games, but also in like some like companies.
Is it because I'm like?
I don't know.
Is it because we're like pushing 30? We don't know that. Is that?
They buttered me out.
How did Marie give your name?
All right, I'll answer that one.
She's not an alien. She's just from heaven.
I'll answer two questions, which are of varying levels of usefulness. The first question is, any tips for growing an audience for a guitarist just starting out? Well, play live would be the usual piece of advice, but depending on where you are in the world, that may not be possible right now. So, try and establish a just sort of baseline competence in audio and video recording equipment. It doesn't have to be amazing, doesn't have to be fancy, but the internet, man, and not just posting on the internet, but posting super consistently, just keeping at it, and it's a little bit of an if you build it, they will come situation, I think. If
One of my favorite movies of all time. You ever seen Field of Dreams?
that's one of your favorite movies?
My dad.
It's
loves
great.
that
It's a fucking amazing
I haven't
movie.
seen it.
What are you, 60?
No, this is like Field of Dreams. First of all, Field of Dreams is fucking dope. This is a movie that we watched a lot growing up. It was one of like, it's like a family favorite movie. I always love that film. For many, many reasons. Like, I'm really not
I don't think you've ever mentioned this before.
no.
No.
I've seen Field of Dreams. It's one of those movies I've seen so often I can almost like quote the whole thing, like sort of like Lord of the Rings.
Really?
Okay, well that
It was
sounds
one
like
of those
another
movies. It was
conversation.
one of those movies that as a kid, like, I feel like you start to, when you're a kid, you're young and you have this like very sort of idealistic view of the world, and you're like, hey, maybe there is some, maybe there's magic here. I don't know what it is, but there's magic in this world. Field of Dreams is a very like magical movie in a very pure like real sense. It's a great film. It's a great film, and James Earl Jones is in it, and he's great.
Okay, well then perhaps we can watch that together sometime soon.
Sure. Yeah, I'm down.
All right, final question. How did Marie get her name? Marie, when Kelly and I first got Marie from the Humane Society in 2013, she, we think, had never felt carpet before, and we had a carpenter department, and she was, doing a lot of this while she was standing around sort of making biscuits. And we thought that it sort of looked like dancing, and Kelly has a dance background, and so we decided we should name her after a dancer, and so we sort of rifled through names that felt appropriate, and Marie Taglioni, who was what? An early popular ballet dancer from Italy, was what we settled on. So that was sort of her full name for a while,
I thought that she would be called Tags.
Yeah, we had all sorts of nicknames that we thought she would have, but no, it's just Marie, and it's a very prim and proper name for a very prim and proper cat.
Someone tells me to cover Phoebe Bridgers. I really like Phoebe Bridgers. Her new record is really great. I don't know. I feel like she's one of those artists who's kind of hard to cover and do justice.
Anyway,
I'll
tell you
it's
what,
not related to what you were talking about.
why don't we actually end it this way? Why don't we sing a song and then hop off after that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's put a bow on it. What do you want to do?
Do you need instruments?
Should we do for some reason Talk About Suffering was the first thing that came to mind?
No.
No? Okay, no. All right.
Do Mamma Mia.
Something upbeat.
No.
Talk about aliens here below and let's
What's an alien theme song?
But you played
Giorgio.
Mamma Mia in the song.
The mothership is coming. Now don't you want to go and leave this world of ancient Egypt and pyramids here below?
No, okay. What here, let me grab you a guitar.
Yeah, grab me an instrument.
Mamma Mia.
Ooh, I don't.
You don't. You can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah,
You
but not
can
well.
know it.
You can do it, huh? Oh.
I'll
Everyone wants In the Heart of the Sea.
No. Look,
Whale-ship Essex. The people who are watching this are Whale-ship Essex.
we really don't have anything against playing In the Heart of the Sea, the comedy of the Whale-ship Essex. We just don't know it anymore. Like, we haven't played it since 2000 and...
Yeah, I
Nine?
can't emphasize enough that song was written for a one-off performance. It was literally written for a grade.
Oh my god. Man, we just activated the internet against us.
Your options are Whale-ship Essex and Mamma Mia. Which do you choose?
Do you remember any of the words of Whale-ship Essex? We could do like 2 verses.
No! Well, the Essex... When they left port for a journey of sorts, never could have reckoned what followed. Whaling ship around 85 feet and a crew that numbered 20. They were sailing around the offshore grounds, a whaling land of plenty.
Right, yeah.
Or something?
Yeah, if we can make it to the first chorus, I think we will have done our absolute best on this.
I think that's it. I really have to like listen to it again. It's unfortunate that I forgot so much about it.
No,
but
we're
It's
close.
been more than 10 years.
No, we're close. We're close though. We can make it through the first chorus. Offshore ground. They were headed on around.
around to the offshore ground.
A whaling land of plenty. 4 days in, past Cape Cod, they were faced with an oncoming gale. They tried to turn around, but they got
but they got
knocked down.
because they
never
didn't
shortened
shorten sail.
And then only a minor setback. Pollard set to chase, and if we press on through,
We'll be right back in the race.
And let's just do that with the set to chase, and if we press on through,
Right back in the race.
yeah, we'll do that one.
think-
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. All right. No, I can't play harmonica. I don't have the rack thing. We're only doing this because we really appreciate you guys sitting in for this.
It ain't gonna be good.
And so help me God, this is gonna be the only time that this is ever performed in any iteration.
It says a thank you for showing up to our weird ass live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, the Essex, she was a lucky ship, captained by George Pollard. And when she left port for a journey of sorts, she never could have reckoned what followed. She was a whaling ship about 85 feet with a crew that numbered 20. They were headed on around for the offshore ground, a whaling land of plenty.
4 days in just past Cape Cod, they were faced with an oncoming gale. They tried to turn around, but they got knocked down because they never shortened sail. Only a minor setback, Pollard said to Chase, but if we press on through, we'll be right back in the race.
All right, friends. Good night, good afternoon, good morning, good whatever you're experiencing. We'll talk soon.
Woo! Yeah!
All right.
Our fans are like,